Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with our realistic series. Now, there are those of you who have said a number of times that my decision at times to colour some of the machinery in pink is highly unrealistic and that no one would ever do it. I have just recently had a couple of pictures linked to me on our Discord server of pink tractors currently for sale. There's Tim Hawkins has done a song all about pink tractors as well, and well, pink tractors do come into things quite frequently. It is a common thing. We have a slight problem. I've got this beautiful pink thing here that we want to be able to use, but I can't actually. I can hitch it on like that. I'm not entirely sure that it's supposed to have done that. Perhaps this machine isn't necessarily one that should go onto this tractor. Now, this is absolutely brilliant. I was really proud of the colours that I picked out for that thing, and now I can't drag it anywhere. We're going to have to get a vehicle to do this. So it doesn't sit. We've got attacher type here, and you've got bumper pull, and you've got a gooseneck attacher type. Like, this is actually meant to go on the back of a pickup. I just thought that maybe I could do it with a tractor, but apparently not. So what we're going to need is we need a vehicular type of some kind, which we don't currently have, which is a bit unusual. Like, normally we do have a pickup of some kind around. So I'm going to need to pick out some sort of pickup type vehicle. Though I'm tempted to use one of them. Yeah, but the problem with one of these are slow. I mean, that was a lot faster. This one's 20. Oh, no, it's 20. I'm looking at that. 23 horsepower. This one's 83 horsepower. Does 97k, which is pretty good. I don't know how well it's going to be pulling a loaded seed tender. It's got 8,000 litres in it. It might struggle. All right. Now, much as I would really like something like the quad bike to do the towing, or even, well, I mean, a Land Rover probably wouldn't hurt. But yeah, there's a few different options, like the Dune buggy. That would be pretty cool if we could use that to do the towing. I'm not going to use those. This one here, however, I would use it, except, oh, wait, attachers. No. Trailer hitch. Right, is that trailer hitch going to allow us to tow? I mean, this thing is ridiculously slow and it's very underpowered. We got engine set up. We got turbo engine on there. That goes from 13 horsepower all the way up to 25 horsepower, which is just brilliant. And then you got a configuration on the back. We can have a bale trailer option. We've got the capacity 4,000, capacity 8,000, animal transport. So we're going to go with the bale trailer option on here. It doesn't have an auto-load configuration on it, I don't think. But I kind of want to just... You know what? Actually, let's just go with this. We'll go with this. We can dump stuff in the back there. I think that's going to be pretty cool. The wheel setup, you've got... Okay, those wheels are no good. We want... How many have we got? 20... Yeah, this is what I want here. I want these with the wheels that give slightly more grip on them. And we'll leave the colours as they are. This vehicle is going to be awesome. It's 20 grand, so I'm going to lease this one as well. It's 1,000 to lease, and it's going to be a few hundred per month for us to be able to run it. Let's just go. We're going to need to put this one... We're going to need to put this to the side because, unfortunately, we seem to have punched out the back window, which was not part of the master plan. So let me just take that one off of there, and the tractor can go and sit over here for a moment because we kind of have things that we need to do. We do have work that we want to be getting on with. And this thing is just amazing. Now, yes, you probably wouldn't use this for doing all of your work, but, I mean, and it does, it actually hitches on. That's fantastic. I mean, it's weighing it down a little bit. There are those of you who may argue that this is not quite realistic, and this is supposed to be a realistic series. Now, I'm going to put to you the argument that realism in this game does not have to be always what the majority do. Right? I realise that for the majority of people, this is a situation that would never, ever, 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 ever come up. But I also know a great many people who work in agriculture who are machinery enthusiasts, who would quite possibly give their right leg in order to be able to become the proud owner of this particular vehicle. Now, admittedly, they wouldn't treat it like this and drag this huge great big seed tender around with it, because if they've gone and just spent a fortune in order to attain this absolutely wonderful piece of history right here, to be able to fit it up and tinker with it and then drive it around with great pride, they're not going to go and try and damage it by doing this. However, that's not to say that nobody would. I do know people that get these old machines and run them into the ground for some peculiar reason, but, well, I say people, I know one person that does it. So, yes, this being on the farm is definitely not something that would be unusual, and I know plenty of people who run some quite big, successful commercial farms who do also have a passion for older machinery and try to use the older machinery whenever possible during their day-to-day farm work. So this is a realistic option. It might not be a common option, okay? I'm quite happy to admit that this is not a common option, but it's still a realistic thing to do. And also the colours on the seed tender. Yes, that is also something you wouldn't see very often, but don't rule it out. I've seen, I've been linked sales pitches, sales postings from eBay and from other places where pink tractors, pink diggers, pink excavators, pink all sorts are for sale. So it is entirely possible, it does happen, there are these things around, you can see them and find them, they're all there for you to look at and see and admire whenever you want to. So they do exist, they definitely do exist. All I'm doing is bringing a few slightly unusual situations into the game, because I can, and because I like to. Right, seeds. We have 2,974 litres of seed right there. And let me just jump back down to our tractor. He's got 1,500 litres of solid fertilizer still on board, so we don't need to worry about solid fertilizer, so we'll just leave it with this. So I'm going to put the cover back over, and then we are going to make our way slowly down to the field. Now, I don't actually show you everything anymore, so you get to see this, and then I will just do the driving in between myself, because I can, and I actually rather like this little setup. Going downhill with the wind behind you and a nice weight on the back certainly makes a difference to the speed. Look at us go! That's more like it! I don't want to think about the return journey just at the moment. We're not going to worry about things like that. That slowed him down a bit. Now he's come down into here. Probably wouldn't want to drive this actually out onto the field. I got a feeling that this probably wouldn't work out very well. Pipe out, oh, like that. And that's going to be this one here. How does he... Oh, I see. You look in there. Right. Closing it down. And then he's got... I can see it here. So I press O, and it just moves to the second one, so that you've got the seed kind of lined up, but there's no animation switching between the two thingies on there. I don't know if you've seen it, but we've got two compartments in there, just like that. Right, now what I need to do is I actually need to bring this one around so that the auger is lined up. Yeah, we're struggling with this, aren't we? A little bit. I regret nothing. I absolutely regret nothing at all. This is a fantastic setup right here, and I absolutely love it. Right, we'll stop right there, and then we will jump to this one. Back up a little bit. Yeah, we didn't have the cover off last time. Right, I think I might have to have it in the middle in order to do this. Yes, right. So we've got to have it lined up in the middle. And then it's just getting it lined up in the correct spot for this one to actually trigger. And it's not the auger wagon on this one. It's the actual seed drill is a little bit picky when it comes to getting the exact right spot for loading the seed in. I do remember this from having used... Well, not necessarily this one. I think it's a different one that I was using. But they can be quite picky about getting that exact spot when you're trying to use an auger wagon. Admittedly, this whole performance would have been a huge amount faster if I had just gone and driven this up the hill and loaded it up myself. But this was more fun. And that's 3/4 of life, ladies and gentlemen. Have some fun. Enjoy yourselves. Right. We don't actually need this one down here anymore. Although I'm kind of thinking it might be easier for me to get back up the hill if I was to unload another round of seed into the seed drill before I attempt to drive this up the hill. However, I'm stubborn, so I'm just going to go with it. And I will run this one up as far as I can. We've got another seed drill up there at the farm that I also want to get ready for next month for doing our drilling. But we will wait and see about that one. I think that one's the seed master right there, so we could probably use that a bit later to load this up some more. Now, this one is quite slow, but for the moment, this is going to be our setup for taking seed around to the... Ooh, I love the way that flywheel is winding down. Oh, that is brilliant. That is a fantastic little piece of animation. I really do like this one, and I'm pleased that I get to use it a bit. I did take it out briefly in my Helderland series, but yeah, I didn't really have much that I could do with it. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect, and this is quite a realistic thing. Yeah, I will admit that the colour that I've chosen for this one is probably a lot less common than it would be to see someone using a machine like this for a job like this. This is the kind of job that I know quite a few different machinery enthusiasts who own and run farms. This is the kind of job that they will use the machine for, because if you can just... A small job that doesn't require a lot of work from the tractor or machine involved, but it's still able to do a little bit of something. And that's kind of what you're looking for. It's a niche job that not very many well, it's not going to be needed very much. It's not going to do a great deal. So for us, our niche job for that machine is just pulling out the seed tender and loading up the seed drills when they're working in the field, which, let's be honest, is not going to be very often. We have got a bit of work to do in this field right here. That will be next month, and then we've got the other two fields over there with the other seed drill. That's also next month. And we've got the big field below the... I'll turn those beacons off. We don't need beacons up here. We got the big field over there below the silage... below the BGA, and That one, I'm not sure if we will use the seed tender for doing that. We might try some other option. Maybe just drive down to the shop and buy in a little bit of seed or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't really made up my mind. Right, you're going to stop there and just load up that tank. And I'm going to go over here and see how we're getting on here. So we've done pretty much the whole field. This is looking fan-schmastic. There is our sugar beet ready to go. We've got 2 fields here, which are about the same size, chickpeas and lentils. And then that one's going to be corn, and that one's going to be corn as well, both of which need to be planted next month. So, as soon as this is finished, I don't actually think there's anything else that I want to do. Well, I suppose weed. We could do the weeding in here. A lot else. While that one's going on there, let me just double check the animals right there. Fine. Nothing to see there. And then down here we've got it's the Ferty Master that we've got. Oh no, we do have the Seed Master. Yeah. We need slurry for that. Slurry and barley. I might have to go and buy some slurry from someone. That might be the better option. And here, manure and vegetable seeds and pallets. That's all fine. We could do with buying in some vegetable seeds, but that can wait. Okay, you're finished. Actually, we'll drive this one up to the edge of the field, and then we'll do the whole unfolding thing. I really like that about this one. It's something that when I was actually working on farms, it was one of the things that I actually really enjoyed was doing this whole process of folding up a machine and getting it ready to move to another field. And the ones that had a more involved process were the ones that I liked the most. I don't know why. It just felt quite... It was a very satisfying job to be able to do, to like fold up and prepare a machine for the road and vice versa. Once you get from the road into the field, go through a procedure of unfolding it. Now, new machines, it tends to be everything's done from in the cab, just touch of a button, everything unfolds. It's a bit like poetry in motion, and it's really cool. Don't get me wrong, I think it's absolutely amazing. It is awesome to see it all happen, but I do also really, really like the much older machines that wasn't all done on hydraulics. And you have to actually get out of your cab and you have to go and do a little bit of work on the machine in order to get it all ready for... turn that one off. I'm just going to park you there for a minute because there's not a lot you're going to do until... I guess I could go and load it up with seed again. We'll do that in a bit. Let's go to you. Just want to top up that last greenhouse with a little bit of water. And that's it, I think. We've got the seed from down there, because I think the only thing that we've got left... Oops, silly. The only thing that we've got left down over here on our racking, which is down around the end of this building, is lime, I think. Is there fertilizer down there? What have we got here? Oh, no, we've got seed. Ooh, fantastic. Right. Well, as we've got seed there... First up, let's get this one, and I'll take this one over and just put it beside the greenhouse, and that one can just start unloading into the final greenhouse, which is just there. Right, you start unloading into there, and then I'm going to go to this one, and I'm just going to drive this one down over to the shed down beside the seed down there, and I'll load it up with that one. What we've got in the seed tender can stay in the seed tender until we... are actually ready to start our harvest. Start our planting, and it can be used down there. And also, I have gotten rid of that mod that opens and closes the gates. I did finally remember to do it. So that one is now gone, and... Right, I'm hoping that if I can bring this in close enough, it should load straight from a bag. Let's see. Yes, excellent. Fantastic. Yeah, I've got that one now. It's gotten rid of, so the gates and that they're not going to open and close. The other option, of course, is that we keep the automatic open and close for things like the sliding doors, and then I just edit the map to remove some of the gates that swing outwards, but I decided I didn't really want to do that. So I'm going to bring you over here again, and just dump you right there. I don't think there's anything else we need to do with you. And shut you off. You're ready. And that's it. March is done. We have planted our sugar beet in the field down there. The only things that we've got left, so we need to just check on this one because there's still a couple of jobs that we want to do. We don't have stones on here. We don't need to worry about it. So that one's actually got all the fertilizer in it that it needs. And when we do our planting, this one's going to have another round of fertilizer in it. This one will need fertilizer afterwards, and so will fill 24. But that's going to be fairly easy. We'll just bring out a spreader to go and do that. The rest of it, we don't need to worry about. And rolling doesn't seem to be a thing on this map. For whatever reason, rolling doesn't seem to be a thing. We will need to do weed control in that field, and then we can do weed control in the others later, but we don't need to worry about them just at the moment. So let's go and find our house. We've got this huge, huge, great big farm with all of this machinery and land and everything else, and our house is this tiny little house just here with exposed block work all around the bottom. And yeah, quite frankly, the house could do with a little bit of work on it, I think. Vehicle leasing costs total after changing month is €614, which is pretty good, actually. I think that we can class that as pretty good. So let's go for a mosey on round here and just check on our chickens. We've got 1 and a little bit of pallets, and then in here we've got 1,700 litres of food, which is absolutely fine. The greenhouses are not going to have deteriorated much. So I've got weeding that I need to do on field 34. I will be able to go and set that going at some point soon. I'm going to get going first with the planting in here, and then field 24 or 23, we want to get going with that one. 2 jobs that we want to get going pretty quickly, if we can. Wait, what was I wanting to just do a quick check? Okay, greenhouses. Yeah, the greenhouses are fine. All right, let's go with this one. What I'm thinking for this now is I'm not going to spend a load of time going around the outside edges of the field with this one. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just get started straight away with doing kind of like the land work, and I'm hoping that the hired help will just be able to carry on and do the work, and then we can come back afterwards and we can sort of carry on with it. So I'm going to bring you to there. I'm going to unhitch you and drive round and back up here like this and hitch you in. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do it quite at that kind of angle, but that's fine. And then back you round. Right, so we can see the direction that we want to be driving in. I'm not going to go right over to the edge of the field. I'm going to bring it to right here, and I'm just going to press H right there. So the hired help is going to go and start. Now, we will see how well it can do it. Well, I'll come back to it later on and just have a look and see how it's going. Am I going to want to use the McCormick? Let me just check the horsepower of these vehicles. In theory, I should be able to use either of them, but I think I'm actually going to use the McCormick for doing the weeding, and then I can use the bigger tractor for running the seed drill. I'll take the water tanker. He turned around really nicely by the look of it. I'm going to come up to there. Quite sure we want him driving up the hill like that. Okay, let's go and have a look at this a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing, you moron? What is wrong with this driver? This is not quite right. There's something wrong here. He's going to try and go from there as well. He's not going to be able to drop it down properly because he's over the edge. I'm going to say he could do... Wait, you're not going to try and turn... Yes, he's trying to turn around again because he's decided that going to that point isn't quite right. So instead he's going to... Why didn't you just turn around and go from here? I swear, sometimes the hired help in this game is designed to be even more stupid than you would have thought originally possible. Just because the developers decided that it would be incredibly comical to have hired help that is just that stupid. Right, anyway, we've cured that little problem. Well... We've attempted to cure that little problem temporarily, just for a few minutes. We're going to run this one in over and just set it loading again by the water tank. And then I can hitch in the seed drill that's just down there, load it up with seed. I think it's already loaded with seed, actually. Right, you go there. Should just keep loading up. And I can get that seed drill. So we've got chickpeas and we've got lentils that we're going to be wanting to do something with. And I'm going to get one field of each. So I'll bring you into there. I've got barley in here at the moment. Oats, canola, soybeans, sorghum, oilseed radish, grass, chickpeas. Right, chickpeas it is. And can I swing around there? Ooh, just. And then we'll come on down here. So we'll load in the seed that we can carry from these two bags right here. Like this. Load up what I can take there. And once I've... Oh, he needs to go a little bit closer to get to the other bag. I'll do this field right here in front of me with this. And then the other field can be done with the... there. Actually, no. Let's go here. Right, that's the one to get to this one. Oh, that one's actually a bit further away. I think that was slightly... I'm going to go to the one that's a bit further away at the moment. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.